Hey guys, how are you? Oh, my gray hair looks a lot more than on here, but it's okay. It's okay. It makes it beautiful. Alrighty guys, so I wanted to talk to you guys about the divine feminine energy, and what, really brought the shift for the masculines, right? So when we jumped, we faced this big hurdle that was, holding us back for so many years. Any blockages, because that was such a strong cycle, right? And, the catalyst for it was definitely our divine masculine, right? And the more and more, these cycles, they're not easy, because if they were easy, we would have, not had to deal with them, right? So it's something that we overlook, and we choose something else than what, it's kind of obvious, right? But it's not obvious to us because it's very different. And, the reason why it was so not obvious was because we had love for the masculine so much. It was very unconditional, right? But, once we stepped into our power, our divine feminine power, and knew that, this was enough, and we were not going to be, put in a leash and, be dragged, whenever he wanted to be ready. And for many years, I think, we were at that, we were in that situation with the divine masculines. That's why, why fix something that is not broken, right? And that's how the divine masculines were really thinking about. And for us, we really accepted. We accepted it, and we took the little crumbs that they gave us, and because we had love for the divine masculine, but then we started to get stronger, and knowing our worth, and knowing that this does not feel good. And every time this masculine would come into our life again, right? Because he would be kind of in and out. We would be in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And it's very true how they would make this as very symbolic of the infinite symbol, right? Because we would be doing our own thing, but we would meet up in the middle, and then there we go again. And so that was our thing, right? And so with that, we were seeing that there was a pattern, a repetition, and knowing that, it was not any good feeling any longer, that the feeling had simply completely diminished, right? And nothing new was coming out of it, and it was just giving us that, and that's not what we were wanting. That is not what we were craving. That is something that we just no longer resonated with. And I think, with that, it was, a wish upon a star, right? You would say. And we're like, well, this is something that I always wanted. But the more that we would go into our journey, the more that we would discover that that is something that we no longer wanted anymore. Especially if he was not coming into his integrity, if he was not showing action, right? If he was not in his truth. That is something that, by, and I think for some of the divine feminines, it was very difficult for this, right? But we had to go back to, does this feel good? Does he make us feel good? Does this situation make us feel good. No, it was always when that person was not with us, or we did a lot better. Our creativity, was not blocked, and we can fully, give the attention that we were not giving to ourselves, giving it back to ourselves, right? And when we did this, we faced it, we liberated ourselves from this, the masculine would attach through telepathy and music and his energy and in the dream state. And I think when this had happened, when we decided to liberate ourselves from this, we really put our boundaries in all areas that he could attach to, right? So if it was in the dream state, we definitely made the changes of, you know what, I'm moving forward, right? And it's fine. He's doing his own thing and not focused on him in the dream state, which was very freaking amazing, right? And even energetic cords, right? If he was no longer able to attach himself, in regards to the heart, then he would find other areas to attach himself, right? And I would say, it's the energy, right? So, he could attach to the mind and then attach to, the womb, where, we connected in such a passionate way. And so we would try to liberate ourselves from these attachments, right? And now that we would see them, feeling a little bit more of being able to be okay to feel some of the masculine energy. And that's why, over the weekend, it was a feeling of much of that, right? And we really had to take a deep breath and really look within ourselves and say, okay, we know that this was not just over just like that. Let's face it, bring our masculine energy out and, be about it and say, okay, we're not chasing. When he comes in, then it would break it or make it, and that's it, right? It's saying the piece that, whether he needed it or we needed it, right? I think until now we still, are ready in point guard, right? But I would be feeling the energy of the masculine, right? And at times, of course, I just wouldn't want to, right? Because when we think about it, it's like I do not want to be in his energy. He's the one that has to do his own karma. He's the one that has to, make it right for himself. We no longer want to get involved into his mix. For a long time we did that, and it just brought us pain and pain and pain, and just, emotionally drainage, right? It just drained until there was no more, right? Until we decided that it was time to move on. And so even like that, we as divine feminines, we still had to, not be closed off. Because when we closed off, all creativity or all, any opportunities, are blocked as well. And, when we did this, our creativity was just flowing, brainstorming of the wuza, it was just brainstorming, even in regards to, our goals, our business adventures, our life, our next chapter. And so I think that's something that, it's flowing so good that we just didn't want to bring any of the masculine energy into our energy that we are now in. because we are in such a good place, right? But even like that, we also have to, really look inside and say, okay, if we're blocking our divine masculine, there's something are we hiding from? What are we not facing? So, of course, our goal is always to be aligned with oneself, and aligned with all. So we really, it's like, okay, well, let's look at the bigger picture. We had to really not be in a very observer and and think, until you couldn't think anymore. It's just being able, okay, well, how can we assist? Because it looks like we were getting the SOS call from the divine masculine, because, they would just be all over. I was feeling like, I need assistance, I need help. And, that's something that we didn't want to do as divine feminines. So what way can we do that was to, help our divine masculine energy within ourselves in regards of taking action to our next chapter, right? And it's always working on self, right, that can change. And I think, as the divine feminines, in the collective, we really are in a place of focusing and, really engaging into our reality and how we want things to go without any type of manipulation in regards to the divine masculine. It's, it's something that it's not in our minds, it's not in our energy, but of course, alignment to help others, right, would be to see what's going on, right, and not deny what we are feeling. So as we were feeling the energy of the masculine, but it was the healing of that it's the more that they were seeing was, I can't be fake. I need to be true. I need to come out with it. And I think once, we really put action, we used our divine masculine energy to take action to being in full alignment with one, then that's when the whole shift of the divine masculine happened. And, it's those things that we fully, it's all in an energetic level, right? So that's the message that I have for you guys. Much love. Bye.